welcome back to Comic Book 2.0 fans. You're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, trying this for a second time. That's right, guys. My first one was interrupted. I tried going back, then the people dropped off. So I'm doing a live stream. Don't do too many live streams, but I decided to do one today. You know why? Because it is a rainy day outside, and I'm probably not going to have any tennis. So what I wanted to do was actually just take some time and maybe recap a little bit about myself, take a few questions if anybody actually is going to watch this, and just have some fun. So I guess let's talk. So let me get the live chat up here so I can take these messages. All right, so live chat is visible. So no one is, well, I got one person back. All right, so that's cool. It's probably myself though. So anyway, yeah, speaking about the weather sucks here in Florida this week. I just wanted to say that it has been raining every single day since Saturday. That's right, guys. Very, very frustrating. I think Saturday night it started raining, and then we wound up raining Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's raining today, and Jay's on. I am not you, so it isn't just yourself. So yeah, it's just funny how it's rained every single day, and I haven't worked all week. I think I've worked, honestly, maybe 3 hours, and that is it. And it's funny that Jay's watching. So it's like me and Jay, we're watching each other. We're on Comic Frontline anyway. So I find it a lot of fun that we're watching this. But anyway, so yeah, so I haven't worked. And if you guys are not familiar with me, my name is Mike Spider Slayer. I've been doing comic book reviews for a very long time. I think 2013 is when I started my actual channel, and I love doing this, and it's a blast. And I do all kinds of comic book reviews. I have my own group channel that I work with a great bunch of individuals called Comic Frontline, and we go live every single Tuesday night. We have a wonderful show. We've been doing that for like 5 years, believe it or not, and it's a lot of fun. How did I get into comics? Basically, I got into comics because I had a stack of comics when I was a kid. It fit in this, I guess, this cabinet, okay, that I had, this shelving unit where I kept all my Star Wars toys and all this other stuff, and it held like maybe 50 comics in there. And I got those comics because my uncle owned a comic book shop back in the 80s, and I guess he just gave me a bunch of comics. For the longest time, those comic books, they sat in that cabinet, and I never even like read them. They were just there. I liked looking at them. I liked the pictures. But one of the most memorable issues I had was a Spider-Man issue. I don't remember the exact issue number, but it's the one where Hobgoblin punches Spider-Man through a glass window, and Hobgoblin's on his glider. I think it's like issue 263 or something like that. And I remember it was just a cool cover, and that's originally how I fell in love with Spider-Man at first. I was like, wow, Spider-Man's cool. He's got cool villains, But as I got older, I had a friend that was really into comic books, and he liked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it was kind of cool because he had these turtles, and I remember he had these turtle books, and I remember when he was a kid, he had a couple of the rare books, and it was just when it came out, he's like, oh, you gotta find these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books. And I'm like, okay. And they were like already on second and third printing, and it was hard to find them, and he had a couple of them, and so I remember we used to draw them. We used to make our own novels out of them. It was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And then they came out with like Tales of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I started reading them. And so I read them, but I never really collected them, you know. And then I remember when I actually got an allowance, I went to the comic book shop and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to start buying comic books. So I bought a couple here and there. And the first ones that I actually bought was issue 313 of Amazing Spider-Man. That was Todd McFarlane's run, and it had the lizard on it. That was one of my most iconic books that I remember, and it will stay true to this day. And then issue 333 is the first book that I bought, and I started buying Amazing Spider-Man ongoing from there on out. So that was a lot of fun, because that book at that time already was starting bi-monthly. I thought that was pretty cool. Excuse me. They had the Return of the Sinister Six, and Eric Larson's artwork was on that particular book. And it was $1 an issue. So I was like, dude, I got $5. You know, that was my pathetic allowance back then. And so I got $5. And so what happened was I wound up getting like 5 comic books a week. And that's how my comic collecting started. So after all that time, I wound up buying these comic books, and I started with like, I don't know, I had like 4 long boxes, and I stopped collecting. And it wasn't till like 1999 I started collecting again, and then I took a break again, and then I started collecting, I guess, in 2007 again, and then I've been going since then. I think because of YouTube, I love talking about comic books to other people, and so that's why I really got into you know, collecting comics again and doing these videos, because I love talking with everybody. So now at this point, I literally have like 4 long boxes and about 32 short boxes of comic books. So I've been doing this for a while now, and my comics are stored in my garage. I don't know where you guys keep your comic books, but mine are stored in the garage because there's no other place I can keep them. Luckily, my garage, it's not messed up. All my comics are, you know, are bagged and boarded and things like that. Jay's like, love chatting with you about comics even though you are wrong on Venom issue number 1. It's debatable. That's why we are a group, Jay. And that's what makes this hobby so good, because we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun about talking about our comic books, and we all have our own opinions about them. And that's what makes doing these videos so great, because you love seeing everyone's opinions. It's funny when people get mad at other people because they have their own opinion, but it's just because you have passion towards a comic book, and other people don't have that same passion. You're like, but it's this and it's that. And when you have someone in here like the chat right now that's watching, which is Jay Philly Superman, a fellow Comic Frontliner with me, he is continuity Jay. He knows everything and anything. He got this crazy memory, and he knows everything about all these comics. You know what I'm saying? And so we have these crazy debates, but it's a lot of fun. And again, that's what makes everything, you know, good in comics. So I don't know, Jay, if you agree with me, and whoever else out there is watching, if you want to put your messages in the chat, I'll give you a shout out. There's at least 5 other people watching, because I'm watching myself. Jay's watching me. One person just dropped off, so now there's 5 people or 4 people, and I'll give you a shout out. And I appreciate you guys watching. Now, Jay, I don't know if you agree with me, and I don't know if you actually have read this book, and you guys have. We have Justice League No Justice, and we were on the show last week talking about a lot of comic books, but we didn't come around to talking about No Justice. And I tried doing this live stream a few minutes ago, and I started talking about it, and but the live stream got interrupted, and then the people dropped off. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. And I compared it to the Avengers, because the Avengers and No Justice has very similar things going on when it comes to Titans and Celestials and all this groups coming together to fight and save the day, to save the planet. And when it comes to No Justice, I feel like Avengers hits the character points better than No Justice. However, I feel that Jason Aaron, when it comes to his writing with the Avengers, he's lacking thereof in the characters that he is, I think, is not too familiar with. So if you read the latest issue, I'm not going to give away spoilers, but when you read the latest issue and you have Avengers when it comes to She-Hulk and when it comes to Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, and Panther, they've had very little in the series so far. And Ghost Rider is basically just squishing bugs. What's up, Peter Barker? Nice to be on the show. So far, he's just basically squished some bugs, okay? And it's very frustrating because he doesn't say anything. And it's just like, well, what kind of character development are we getting there? And then we also get the She-Hulk in this issue. She actually is more prominent in this book. Like in the last issue, felt like she made this guest appearance. In this issue, she's in it, but she's like stupid Hulk, you know? If you read her series at the end of the last series, she's kind of reverted back to the Jen that we knew, not some big hulking, menacing Hulk. So it's kind of frustrating to see her that way. I want to see her back in Jennifer Walters' state, you know? Even though maybe she might be delicate, she doesn't have to revert back to that crazy Hulk again. And when it comes to Ghost Rider, I don't know if Jason Aaron has a plan for him. Like, what's he doing there? You know what I'm saying? How does he fit in this Avenger role? So, oh yeah, Peter, it's raining here. That's why I'm doing this live stream. It's crazy right now. And I'm not teaching tennis right now. So, I don't know. I have to pick up the kids a little bit so I can stay on for about 15, 20 minutes more. But I got to pick up the kids at school. But anyway, when it comes on to that, those characters, I feel like they're undeveloped in the Avengers. At this point, it's only the second issue. But when it comes to Captain America, definitely Thor, definitely Captain America, Thor, Captain Marvel, those characters are really good. Iron Man is really well done. If the book just had those characters as your Avengers, this would be the perfect Avengers book. And then this issue has a villain in it as well. If you guys want to see my full review on the Avengers book, go ahead and see that. On what I'm actually talking about. So those characters got good character development, and then he's missing in those other characters. Now, when it comes to No Justice, the issue with that book is that that book has too many characters. And I feel like this book could have been broken, this main story could have been broken up into 4 separate stories instead of putting all these characters together. Have it do like, I don't know, like a crossover, because this is very frustrating this way. And I said this in the first video, the first attempt on this live stream, it's got an overabundance of characters. And I'm going to name a few of these characters. It's got Amanda Waller. It has Green Arrow. And I'm not going to give away any spoilers. So it has Green Arrow in here. It's got Beast Boy. It has The Flash. It has the Atom. It has Wonder Woman. It has Superman. It's got Harley Quinn. It's got Cyborg. It has Lobo. It has Starfire. Sinestro's in this book. Lex Luthor's in this book. And they all fight for panel time. And as a reader, that's very frustrating. There's no characters that shine, and they can't develop that way because they're all standing around bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? Peter says, yet to read Avengers 2, just read No Justice 2, quite a bit to take in. And it's right. There's a lot to take in. You have all these characters fighting for panel time. None of them have a chance to shine in here. And it creates a dialogue-heavy type of issue. And then you got this grand master scheme. No Justice is a bit full with character. Yeah, that's right. Lyric Magic Moment says No Justice is full of characters, and you're right. And again, it's too much. And when you couple with this badass player says, hello, badass player, cool name. And when you couple that with this type of story, it's very bogged down, in my opinion. It's very bogged down. You got these like Tree of Life things going on, and these like titans are drawn to it, and we gotta go deep into it to try to save the day. And it's like, okay, guys, why can't we just slow this down? Why does Scott Snyder have to tell this grand, epic, killer, monumental story event? This is just a flippin' Justice League. Let's just get it back on track. People dropped off of Justice League for a while. They didn't like the New 52 version was actually really good. And then when we got to Rebirth, it took a downturn. And now I heard mixed emotions about the most recent run from the last writer. And now we get this. And I feel like after reading the second issue of this, guys, I'm not a huge fan of it. What do you guys think? What do you think about it? I mean, I know that's only 2 issues in, but what did you think after the first issue? I know a lot of us should have read the first issue by now. And if you've read the second issue, what do you think? Here we get General Zod. He says, "Hey, Mike, hope all is well. I was thinking about picking up Avengers, but I haven't read anything since 2016, so I'm going to be confused." LOL. Actually, when it comes to Avengers, this is the time you want to jump on. This is a new jumping on point. So this is the point you want to jump on. The only thing that you need to know is that there was an event that went on. It's called No Surrender. And at the end of the events, all the Avengers basically went on their own way. And there was only a handful of Avengers left. And this is how we get to the point of now of this newest series. So if you want to pick it up, go ahead and pick it up. This is the perfect time to do it. It's got a new team. It's got a different type of team. And so you want to do it now before it gets too far into it. So I say go ahead and pick it up. If it's good in 5 issues from now, that's yet to be determined. All right. So going back to this, I am not a fan of all this tree of entropy, the tree of wonder, the tree of mystery, the tree of wisdom. Hey, CO397, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Guys, this is great. I wasn't expecting this, and this is awesome. I got at least 10 viewers on here, and that's including Jay, Philly Superman. He's like a staple. The dude's everywhere. He is like Brainiac or Brother's Eye. He knows when all is going on. So he's tuning in right now as well. And if you guys have not checked out Frontline, that's my group channel. Guys, go out to Comic Frontline. Subscribe to the channel so you guys can watch our live show each and every Tuesday night or watch it on the playback. So yeah, going back to this Justice League thing, I just don't know if I'm a fan right now. I just think it's really overwhelming type of book. It is. It's overwhelming, and I don't like it. I know some people like Scott Snyder's writing. I'm one of those people. But when it came to Batman, and I think he could take his time telling Batman, but even then, his story was too long at certain times when it came to Zero Year and things like that. And when it came to Metal, it was a little bit out there for me as well. I've read Scott Snyder's The Wake. I thought that was a pretty good series as well. But what do you guys think? What do you think of this series? And out of the two, what do you think is the better series at this point? Because we've gotten 2 issues of this Justice League, and we've gotten 2 issues of Avengers. And do you think that Avengers could have been 4 separate books right from the start instead of it starting off like this? Because I don't know how they're going to wrap this up in 4 issues, which I don't think so. It's going to continue in its own individual books. So Peter Barker says, not a big fan of Snyder's writing. And Tevia Smoka is on the show. He says hello. Hi, Tevia. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Tevia, if you missed it, we're talking about Justice League and Avengers. CO397 says, I'm not looking forward to the new run on Justice League. I like the lineup of the team, though. And right now, the team is not really separated. They're all together, and eventually they will be separated. You know what I thought that was funny, too, about the first issue of Justice League is that when they all got captured by Brainiac, I thought it was funny how they all have their clothes, and they had to get their clothes changed. Who changed their clothes? Were they in a privacy room? I mean, that took place off a panel. Isn't that a little disturbing? It's kind of weird. Um, let's go to the comments. Tevia is doing good. He has a smiley, and Peter Parker says, "Hey, Tevia." Tevia goes, "I'm looking forward to the new Justice League team." And Philly goes, "I haven't read Wither #2, but they are equal based on the #1s." And Tevia says, "Especially since Dark Knight's Metal was amazing." Now, I'm glad, Tevia, you like Dark Knight's Metal. Unfortunately, I got through a few issues to it, and it just too much for me. And I guess it's just one of those books that it's just not for me. I think certain things he just takes it to this whole other dimensional, and it's too much for my little brain. I can't take it in. Peter Parker says, "I hated Metal." From heroes to icons, he joins the show and he goes, "You would think that Justice League No Justice is supposed to lead into the new Justice League #1, but it's a little confusing right now." Yeah, like I said, it's a lot confusing right now. I understand what's going on, but it's just so much going on. It's just like dialogue after dialogue, dialogue, and it's just like no one shines. The only person that took charge in this book was Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor was the one that was like, "Hey, fucking A, like, guys, stop freaking fighting. We gotta follow Brainiac's plan." Thank you. Someone actually finally sat there and said, "Brainiac put you guys together. He had this whole 3-page explanation of what you're supposed to do, and you weren't going to listen to him." So at least Lex Luthor listened to him. CO397 goes, "What is your take on DC up and coming every book to $3.99? Lyrical Magic Moment says, "For me, Avengers is better at the moment. The story flows better, but wait and see what Justice League of America #1 is like." Joseph Books is like, "No." Peter Parker goes, "As long as they're not double shipped, I'm okay with it." Tevia says, "Except nobody trusts Brainiac with good reason." I understand that, but when you're captured and you got thrust into that planet and he gave you all that description, you see this big-ass giant monster trying to attack the world, and he says that Earth is actually in peril and you're next, you might want to take that seriously, right? So what do I think about DC's up and coming, upping the book for $3.99? My thought process on it is that he goes, "It could be a trap." Yeah, very well, maybe, but the dude's head exploded. I mean, what do you think at this point? I don't know. $3.99 books. I think personally, I have a feeling that they were going to do this. But it's not bad when you don't double ship it. It's actually cheaper. So if it goes to monthly books, it's cheaper than charging $2.99 and doing it twice a month. So think about that. So if all your books are monthly, you're actually saving money in the long run. So let's see what happens there. Tevye goes, "I really don't like that these titles are being charged $3.99 because $2.99 price point was really good in my opinion." And Tevye goes, "Yep, damn it, Waller." Yeah, Waller was behind the whole thing, why everything happened in Justice League anyway. He's got backups, I'm sure. LOL. Well, wait till you read this actual issue of Justice League. You're going to see there's somebody else there towards the end of the book. Tevye goes, "I'm more of a fan of weekly." Lyrical Magic Moment says, "I do love the Virgin Bee covers done by DC. It was a great move." I agree. I feel like these covers are really nice. This past week, I do Road to Comic Book Cover of the Year every week, every Monday, where I pick my top 6 covers, and then you guys get to vote. And so that Flash Virgin cover was my top one of the week. Hopefully, if you guys haven't jumped on board of that series, I would love for you guys to go in there and just vote for your favorite cover of the week each week. And there's this big contest that happens each and every week. And by the time the end of the year, we're going to get cover of the year. So it's cool. Let's see. Other comments. "Enjoying this, but don't forget the school run, Mike." Yes, I know. I have to leave by 3:35. Marvel has been charging $3.99 for double shipping books. Absolutely, Jay. You're 100% right. I wish Marvel didn't do that, and we do pay for it. And Marvel's been doing these things forever. We know that. So maybe DC will just stick to the once a month type of thing, and we wind up saving money on the deal. I have hope for them, that they can save us money. But you never know. The popular books might be twice a month. Tevia says, especially with both Superman and Action Comics. Agreed, the Virgin covers are awesome. Joseph Book says, I miss when comics were $1. Oh my gosh. I would love if they went back to newspaper print. That would be phenomenal. And just charge even $2, right? It makes you feel like it's a comic book again, Sometimes they try to make the artwork too real, and it just takes you out, they make it too real like it's a movie. I like my comic books looking like cartoon characters and stuff, So agreed with the Virgin covers are awesome. Boom Boom Comics. Hey, Mike, I just saw you was on, but I got to go get the family. I'll watch this later on. That's fine, Boom Boom. Go ahead, because I got to get my family in about 8 minutes. Reverse Flash cover. It was okay. Also, Marvel has been charging $10. Yes, I know, for those crazy monumental issues. I agree with you there. They do charge you for that. It is insane. They're going to be doing that for Spider-Man as well, so be ready for that. I think DC will change back fast. You know what, Jay? You might be right, and let's hope that they do, because they reverted it back once before to get you on board. $3.99 means Marvel will go to $4.99. Shut your mouth, Peter. I don't want to hear that. For ridiculous issues like Amazing Spider-Man 25, that was charged $10 for no reason. That is true. I missed 75 cents. I was really young when that was going on. You're real lucky you got experienced cheaper comics. $2.99 is the cheapest ever I got to live through. Peter Parker agrees. I would love newspaper print. In the UK, DC $3.99 cost here is $3.90. So yes, I remember newspaper print $1. Then it went to like $1.50, and then the next thing you know, it's like $2.99. There was like no little markups. It just jumped up in price. From heroes to icons, I really miss the feel of old comics. It had a totally different feel to it. Such nostalgia. And Tevia goes, why can't Marvel stop being ridiculously expensive? It's because they want the money. They know that people are going to buy it. And that's just the way it is, Tevia. That's how it's always going to be when it comes to Marvel. They're never going to lower their price at this point. The only thing you can hope is that they make good stories. Their stories don't suck, and that you enjoy the books. That's what you can do. Worth every penny, DC Nation. Yeah, see, 25 cents. Make them all that way. That would be awesome, right? Oh, boy. Today announced was West Coast Avengers, new series coming out. It's going to be a mini, done by Kelly Thompson, in case you guys did not know that. So just letting you guys think about that. I was a fan of the old West Coast Avengers series when that came out, so it's good to see them coming out with that once again. This was fun, guys. Unfortunately, I got to go. I want to talk some more. I have 15 viewers. I'm going to count 14 viewers because Jay is a viewer. And this was a lot of fun. I wish I had more time to spend talking with you. But I have to get my kids now. And you know what? I might actually do this again, hopefully soon. A couple more comments real quick before I go. Marvel scared me away with the single issues. Too many crossovers, reboots, and pricey. I had to switch to graphic novels for them. I think Marvel should slow down on the variants a bit. Just so many for one book. Bye, Mike. Hope it stops raining. Someone host an after party. Real quick on the trades. The one thing I could say that Marvel is really good at is the trades. They come up with their trades as soon as the stories are over. And I think that's awesome. And it can save you money. The variant covers, it's simple, guys. If you don't want to spend the money for them, don't buy them. Some comic shops actually don't charge that much for them. Mine only cost $1 more. It's just what your shop is going to charge you for them. And, just enjoy your comic books the best that you can. If good things happen when it comes to cheaper prices, take advantage of it. Just don't pirate your comic books, because that's what's going to drive the comic sales up. All right. So with that, guys, I'm going to leave. If you guys want to do an after party, go for it. Everyone, have a great day. Until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer. Thanks for watching, and check out some of my other videos this week, guys. All right? So take care. I'll see you real soon, and bye-bye.